Are you thinking of borrowing someone else's car? It sounds great in theory, but have you any idea what serious problems this could cause for both of you? Fortunately, of course, there's an answer to them, which is short-term car insurance, which you can buy from this site. However, let's see what could happen if you don't have it. Did you make absolutely certain that you was insured to drive this car? This is a very important question because there is a police car behind you with a flashing blue light and a police officer waving at you to pull in. Now, there could be many reasons why you were stopped. You may have strayed a little bit over a speed limit. The officers may have noticed that you was driving an unfamiliar car a little bit hesitantly. The registration number may have been flagged up on their car's number plate recognition computer, or it might just be a routine check. Either way though, your documents had better be in order. Now, it only takes seconds for your insurance details to be checked. If they are in order, there's nothing to worry about and you can carry on your journey. However, if their computer can't confirm your insurance details, there is a big problem. The car keys are taken from you. Unless you have a child with you, or one of you is an elderly or otherwise vulnerable person, how you get home is strictly your affair, although the officers might feel sympathetic and give you a lift to the nearest bus stop. A short while later though, a pickup truck will arrive, the car will be loaded up and taken off to a police pound. The nightmare has just begun. This is where things start to get complicated. You'll be facing a charge of driving a car whilst uninsured, which will mean a stiff fine of perhaps £500 or so, plus 6 penalty points on your driving licence. However, not many people realise that the owner of the car will also face a similar charge, this time of allowing a car to be driven without insurance. This also carries similar penalties, and there is really no defence to the charge. The owner may have genuinely believed that you was insured, but it makes no difference. It is what is known as an absolute offence. If you are not insured and drove with the owner's permission, then he or she is guilty. If you did not have the driver's permission, then you would almost certainly be found guilty of taking without consent. This carries a maximum penalty of up to 2 years imprisonment plus an unlimited fine. Yes, I said it would get complicated, didn't I? In the meanwhile, what happens to the car? More than 40% of impounded cars end up being disposed of by the police, either at auction or in a scrapyard like this one. Once the car has been seized, there are charges to be paid before it will be released from the pound. About £150 for the pickup truck, plus around £20 a day for storage. If the car isn't collected within 14 days, it's liable to be confiscated by the police, and the original owner gets nothing back for it. Now, the situation gets more complex if there are outstanding hire purchase payments due on it. The police will inform the HP company if they can trace them, and they usually can, and under their finance agreements these companies usually have the right to take an impounded car back or demand immediate payment of all outstanding charges, plus the agreed interest, plus the impound fees, plus their costs for getting someone to pick the car up, plus their legal costs. It all adds up to a horror story for the owner, or rather the previous owner, because he or she is now likely to have no claim at all on the car unless these payments are made right away. Most people in this situation can't afford to do this, so they can end up with no car but still owing the finance company a small fortune. And all it would have taken to avoid all this trouble was buying a short-term car insurance policy which could have been arranged within a couple of minutes and which probably wouldn't have cost a great deal at all. Don't take the risk. Get a quote now. You know it makes sense.